Alright, so this is Gemini AI, and despite being backed by literally the biggest search engine company in the world, unfortunately, in a lot of cases when you're using Gemini, it is not utilizing its research capability. So basically the answer is solely based on its training data, which can be inaccurate or no longer relevant. And this is actually very strange because the AI models in Gemini do come with a feature called grounding with Google search, and that means the model is able to pull data from the internet, from websites, articles, pages, and it's actually using Google search, and therefore it can synthesize the information based on the most relevant information on the web. But for whatever reason, that feature is not triggered very often. It is not being used, and in a lot of cases you're just receiving the answer from the AI training data, which is okay sometimes, but in many situations you want to get the latest information. So this is kind of strange. So the question is, how do you force Gemini to always conduct a research before giving you the final answer? Well, this is surprisingly very difficult. So I initially thought that I can just use a extra instruction that I could put into my Gemini account, but actually many people did the same thing and with a varying degree of success. So I would say this is very difficult, but I found one prompt or one instruction that I would say gave me higher chance of Gemini using its searching capability or grounding with Google search capability, and therefore it can give me the most relevant, the highest possible quality answer, because the answer is now not only based on the training data but also from some articles or content on the web. So here's what you can do. First, just open Gemini on your device, and here I'm just using the desktop web version of Gemini. Go to settings and then navigate to personal contacts. Okay, we want to enable a feature called your instructions for Gemini. So just enable this. This is quite similar to a feature in ChatGPT called personalization. Now click add, and this is the prompt that you can use. Let me just show the prompt. Okay, the prompt here can be found in the description down below. Let me just copy it, and you can paste that right here in this Gemini personal context. Now, there is one thing here that you can customize. So basically in the prompt, we are forcing Gemini to use its Google search grounding capability, and also we specify that we want data, we want content from the last 6 months. Now, if you are more flexible and you are okay with data from 12 months ago, maybe 24 months ago, feel free to modify this number, or maybe you can even remove this section entirely if relevancy is the most important thing when you are searching or researching using Gemini. So that's basically the one thing that you can modify, and of course there are many other things that you can customize in the prompt, but this is the basic prompt that you can use. Now click submit, and then just wait for a few seconds for the system prompt, for the instruction to be received by Gemini. And now I guess I'm going to open a new chat, and I'll usually just refresh the page just to make sure that it is now using the latest settings on my account. So right here, let's say I'm going to ask a question. Actually, I haven't prepared any question. Okay, how about this? Can you tell me how do I edit my MP3 music using an AI model on Gemini? So in case you didn't know, there is a feature on Gemini called Lyria 3. So that's a new AI model for creating music, but that model is not able to edit music. So I want to know if Gemini can research about its new model, and also to see whether or not the model can actually edit a piece of music. Now let me just send the query, and let's see what kind of answer that it will give to us. So one thing that I noticed when using this instruction is it's usually going to be a bit slower because, well, it has to perform some research beforehand, and only after that it can give you the final answer or the final response. Okay, so as you can see, it is researching the content, it is checking the current date as of March of 2026. So I'm recording this video on March 4th, 2026. So yeah, it is very much trying to find the latest information on the web. And as you can see here, there are some links that were used, some pages that were used by Gemini when searching this topic. So, okay, let me see. But the question is it accurate? Okay, access music creation tool, create music, multimodal, iterative editing via prompting. Okay, so yeah, that's very interesting. It is okay. It actually mentions something like, while Gemini cannot directly rewrite your uploaded MP3 file, it can analyze it, and then you can upload MP3 to ask Gemini to transcribe, summarize, identify. Okay, so it is aware that the Gemini, the AI model on Gemini cannot be used to edit music at the moment, but it suggests other things like maybe you can identify the music first and then you can recreate that music based on the description that was identified by AI. So I think that's actually quite a clever workaround. So even though it is not, it is aware that it is not able to give me a way to edit music, it is at least understand that, hey, this model cannot do that. So, but this is the alternative that you can try. And of course, we got some other links that were provided by Gemini, and I actually have tested this, and they are not hallucinations. I have done this several times, and they're not hallucinations. They are links that you can open, and they will direct you to a real website page, and you can read further. So yeah, it is safe to say that Gemini can definitely do searching before answering to your question, but again, I just don't understand why would Google making it difficult for this model to perform research before answering to your query. Now, about the topic, there is actually a place that will guarantee that it's going to use Google search before answering to your question, and the name of the tool is Google AI Mode. So you can navigate to google.com/AI. That's one quick way to access the tool, and just send a message. Now, let me try maybe the same question again. Let's see what kind of answer that it will give me. So it is using Gemini, and unlike the Gemini in the Gemini platform, the Gemini model in AI mode will always use its search capabilities. So it is very similar to Perplexity AI, and I would say the answer is pretty good, although one limitation that makes the AI mode to be very different and it is targeted towards different audience is that there isn't many customizations that you can apply to Google AI mode. You can do plenty of research things, you can even create images, but there are many things that you cannot do, like there is no personal context, you cannot create or maybe create an app or a website using Gemini Canvas. So those things are not possible. Okay, so we get the answer, and yeah, I think describe the genre. Okay, well, I don't think it can edit. I think it doesn't mention anything about the inability of the model to edit music, so maybe it is slightly less accurate somehow, even though it is using Gemini as well and it can access search content on the web. But yeah, maybe there is a reason why the Gemini in the Gemini platform is not always using the search capability, because I would presume that it is using the latest and greatest model, and therefore it is very expensive to run, and the searching capability is not something that they can always turn on all the time. So I think the model will assess if the query needs something like fresh content or the most relevant data. If not, then maybe it is okay to just give the user the answer from only its training data. So I guess that's probably one reason, although I really cannot confirm it. But regardless, that's basically one way to force Gemini to always do research before giving you the final response. And again, the full prompt can be found in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. I wish you a great day ahead.